Hey everybody, so today's video is dedicated to my collection of ride cymbals and also talking about John Bonham's ride cymbals throughout the years. I'm starting out with a Paiste 602. This is a pre-serial number cymbal, probably from sometime in the 60s. 24 inch, it's in exceptionally great condition. I actually just got this in the past month, and this is the one that I was using before, which many of you may be familiar with. It's basically the same cymbal, same era. It's a bit heavier. I don't have a gram weight on these. Maybe I'll put that in the description when I'm done with the video. But this one, unfortunately, had a crack off the edge that started to grow a little too much. It was about a ½ inch in. So I had it excised, basically, by Steve Maxwell Jr. of Maxwell's Vintage Drums here in the Chicagoland area. And he did a great job. He cut it in a V because if you cut it too close around, there's more stress, I guess, with the cutaway and can cause a fracture to emerge again. So that's why it has sort of like the gradual slant. And this cymbal still sounds really great. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep it. Actually, I may end up selling it soon just to recoup some of the funds that I've spent on cymbal purchases recently. But anyway, so I'm going to start with this cymbal and do a demo of the 602 24-inch ride, which as far as Bonzo's history of ride cymbals goes, my opinion is from the very beginning in September, let's say, of '68, when the band first started performing and recording, he was using likely a 22-inch Zildjian. That's not confirmed, but based on the look of the cymbal that you see in the pictures from that time, it really looks like a 22-inch Zildjian ride. The cup, the shape of the cymbal, the contour of it, and the bell, all just looks very Zildjian-y. Terry and I have talked a lot about this, and we both agree that he was most likely playing Zildjians, maybe Zyn, Z-Y-N, the British company, especially this 16-inch crash that he had over here. But it's really, it's hard to tell without seeing the stamp, but I'm 90-something% sure that that first ride cymbal that he was using and that you hear on the first album is a 22-inch Zildjian. And then you see some pictures from the first U.S. tour, which commenced in late December of '68 and ran into, I think, around February of '69. So, of course, during that time, he was playing a different kit than we associate mostly with that era, the thermogloss kit. But when he first came to the States, he was playing a Ludwig Black Diamond Pearl kit, which many of you are familiar with. It's 22-inch bass drum, 13x9 tom-tom, and two 16-inch floor toms. And for that tour, the pictures that I've seen from shows from that tour, he's got what looks like a Gene Krupa, I think it's a Krupa model. It's a Slingerland, likely a chrome over brass snare. And you can see the Slingerland badge in some of the pictures kind of faintly, and you could just see like the telltale indentation lines that go around the drum. Not a Ludwig Supraphonic at that point. He did have a Ludwig 400, a 5x14 Supraphonic on the dates in Scandinavia, the very first tour dates from September of '68. But I'm getting a little off track here. So the subject was cymbals. So for those first few months, 22-inch Zildjian most likely. And then for the first few weeks of the U.S. tour, I think he has the Zildjian until he gets his thermogloss kit. Now, he gets the thermogloss maple kit sometime around January 20-something, 20th, 21st, somewhere in there. The first known pictures of it on a gig are from the Tea Party in Boston gig, which is January 23rd, I believe. So sometime between their Detroit shows, which were like 18, somewhere in there, January 18, 19, and then the 23rd, he got the thermo kit. Now, I'm not sure if he got cymbals along with the thermo kit, because there really aren't any clear pictures of his kit for those first few weeks that he had the maple thermogloss kit. There aren't really any clear pictures of the cymbals. There's a picture from the Tea Party gig on the 23rd that's from straight ahead on, and I'll try to cut away to it here post-production. But in this photo, you see his brand new thermogloss kit and what looks like maybe the 22-inch ride. It's really hard to tell because of the perspective if he's got a 22 or a 24. If he has a 24, it's likely a 602 24-inch ride. If it's a 22, it's likely the Zildjian. But again, because of the quality of the shot, the resolution, and the distance, it's just really hard to tell. But at some point during that tour, they played New York after that, like February 1st and 2nd. They played Miami. You can see some other photos where it does look like at some point he's got a 24. So certainly by the time March comes around, he has the 24-602, because in the footage from Danmarks TV, the Danish television special, which is on YouTube and you can see in the official DVD release, that's definitely 602s, I believe. He's got a 24, just like this one, and then he's got a 16-inch crash and an 18-inch crash. And the hats, I believe, at that point are 14-inch, not sound edge. So, moving along then, I want to play a little bit on this cymbal so you just get to hear the quality of it by itself. And then I am going to demonstrate on the next set of cymbals, which would be, or the next cymbal, which would be a 24-inch giant beat. So I believe he played the 602 cymbals from about, let's say, late January or sometime in February, March, that winter of '69. And keep in mind that Ludwig and Paiste had an agreement, and Paistes were often sold through the Ludwig catalog. So it's very possible that when he got his brand new maple thermogloss kit in mid-January of '69, that he got a set of cymbals. I don't know for sure if Carmine Paiste was playing Paiste cymbals at that time and hooked him up with a complete endorsement with drums and cymbals, but that's very possible. So let's say from early '69, January or February of '69, all the way through, I think, the end of '69, he was playing 602s, and likely into early '70s. So when you see the footage from Royal Albert Hall, there's no clear shots that are bright that I have found of his cymbals. Everything is kind of dark colors, you know, the lights were low, everything looks sort of warm and coppery. So it's really hard to tell if that's giant beats at that point. But I don't think they are giant beats yet because of the shape of the bell on the 24. The other reason is there's an invoice from Paiste. It's actually like an endorsement list. And it's a list of all the cymbals that he got during a certain time frame. I don't think this is all the cymbals he ever got, but I think that it's from like around 1970, I want to say, up until about 75 or 6 is on that list. I'd have to take a look back at it. I could also insert that in post-production here. I think I'll do that. So anyway, on this list, you can see the dates that he gets or was sent his giant beats, and I believe it's sometime around February of 1970. So that means at Royal Albert Hall, he likely had the 602s, which would also kind of corroborate my theory about him having 602s based on the shape of those, the cymbals, the bells, and just the look of them. And it would make sense that he got a new stock of cymbals, and if he wanted to try the giant beats, February of 70 was just before they were about to embark on some dates in Europe. They played Copenhagen, I believe, and a couple others. And then they went to the US for a tour that lasted into, I think, April. So certainly by then, when you see photographs of him on the tour in early 1970 in the US, the spring of 1970, those are giant beats. Now he may have mixed and matched, had like a 602 here or there once in a while, who knows. But I think that those are all giant beats all the way up through, throughout 70. Then he got his Green Sparkle kit in June of, most likely in June of 1970. First date for that was in Iceland, and then they played at the Bath Festival, and those are all giant beats. And then from that point on, he stuck with giant beats until about the fall of 1972. And I'm not sure when he got his first 2002s, but on that equipment list, again, on the endorsement list, there's a 2002, I believe it's a 16-inch Crash. And once they left for Europe in getting towards spring of 73, I think it was March of 73, he had 2 Crashes here, and he would often have 2 here. And one of those Crashes you can clearly see is a 2002. But the others, I believe, are mostly giant beat. So I think when he really started to use the 2002s full on was for the American tour, the 10th tour, which was beginning in May of 73. And then he used 2002s through the remainder of his career. However, in the U.S. tour from May to the end of July, when The Song Remains the Same was filmed, the ride cymbal, any pictures I've seen of that setup, the ride cymbal is still a giant beat. So he's got a giant beat 24, 18-inch and 20-inch 2002 Crashes, and 15-inch 2002 hats. And that's pretty much what he used for the remainder of his career. Now, whatever he used in the studio, we don't know. We have to really listen. And my theory is on some records he was using 602s still and mixing and matching. But definitely live in 77 and at Nebworth, and then again on the 1980 tour, those are 2002s all around. Maybe with a 602 Crash up here. Terry thinks that he would add a 602 once in a while. So I think you said that, Terry. Maybe don't quote me on it, but I think I remember talking about that. So anyway, I've babbled enough. I'm going to do a little playing now, and what I intend to do with this video is just demonstrate the 24-inch rides. I'm going to do another series of videos demonstrating Crashes, all the different 18s, the 602s, the giant beats, the 2002s, and then maybe I'll demo some of my reissues. I've got some reissue 602s and reissue 2002s that I really like a lot. But for now, it's just going to be all the vintage, kind of era-appropriate 24-inch rides. So I'll get started. I'm going to turn get the recording going, and here we go. beautiful cymbal. Okay, now this is the giant beat. This is a white label. You can kind of barely see the faint trace of the stamp, the white label stamp that says giant beat. There's the embossed stamp with the crescent and star. Yeah, no quarter. That's the giant beat. Okay, and last we have the 2002. This is a 1974 2002 24-inch ride. So that's it. Hope this video was enjoyable and informative. That's my 3 24-inch Paiste rides a la Bonzo. Stay tuned, more videos to come. I'm going to do another series of these cymbal demos, and I think up next will be the crashes, so watch for that. Thanks again for watching, everybody. Take care.